Hi guys, Kimberly here with Kimberly Rochelle Photography. So I want to get started on a video that is about lens calibration. A lot of things that you can Google to find information on, but I found it very difficult to do the process. So making this video to show how I did it and make it a little easier for you. I am using a Canon 70D. I have it set up on just a basic tripod right now, but it does have a leveler on it, so that helps me a little bit. The leveler shows that it's almost completely level, so that's a good thing. As you can see, I've got the triangle pyramid set up over here to use for the lens calibration. Basically, it's just a plane that has lines and numbers, and you're focusing on this black line here in the middle and this blue rectangle. So what you see here is a blue rectangle. But when the lens is set correctly at the right angle, this rectangle will appear to be a square. So you'll at least know if you're kind of level with it if it looks like a square instead of a rectangle. And you want this to be in focus and the rest of it to be a little bit blurred. That will tell you that your lens is proper. Okay, so I'm starting with my, let's bring this a little closer over, my 50 millimeter. You want to set your aperture at the most open setting that this lens can get at. Well, the 51.4 can go to 1.4. So as you see, I've set it to 1.4. My ISO, I keep it at 100. You want it to be at 100 usually for this kind of stuff. You want to set it to your AV mode, and I've got my LCD flipped up so that I can view it after each shot to see how I'm doing. So I guess we'll get started. Once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. So I'm just going to take a peek here and make sure that I'm actually on the right line here. It's a little off. Okay, so on my LCD here, you can see that, it's too dark, too bright. It looks like it's pretty much in focus. I mean, I did calibrate yesterday, so it can be off a little based on where it's located. I did have this reversed yesterday to do it properly because you do want it in plenty of lighting. So I actually had my camera facing this direction and the calibration tool over here next to the window where it was much brighter. That's really the way you want to do it. I'm just reversing it because I had it difficult trying to get it not being so dark in the video when it was placed in that manner. So now what I'm going to do is, if this were incorrect and it were falling out of focus, we'll do a test shot. So if you look under here, especially on a 70D for sure, you have all these different things when you hit menu. So I hit menu, and I'm going to come over here past the little wrenches, and I'm going to hit the custom button. Then I'm going to hit autofocus. You want to adjust by lens. So I tap adjust by lens. Now it already knows what lens is on here. It's a 51.4. Your camera already knows. So you're going to select that. But since I already did it yesterday, I have to hit change. I'm going to change it. Now as you see, when you normally do this for the first time, it will be on the 0. That's what it's standardly set at. So I came over here and I adjusted it plus 0.14. So now let's go back to the original. Okay. Okay. Now, going to take another picture. Okay. So now let's take a look at how it looks. At 0, the only thing in focus, it's too bright. Okay, the only thing in focus is 35, 30, and 25. If I zoom out, you can clearly see the line and the square are nowhere in focus. That means my camera, this lens is focusing very far forward. It's focusing everything up here in front, and nothing is in focus back here and back. So when I calibrated it for the first time and it's set at a standard 0, it is completely off. It is focusing on everything out front, which is completely in line with all of the pictures I took. Every single time it didn't focus on the eyes, it focused on the hands. I had to zoom in further than it said to zoom in to get my eyes in focus on any of my pictures. So I'm going to go back to there again. I hit menu again. I'm going to hit autofocus again, adjust by lens. I'm going to change it now, and I'm going to go up to 16. I'm going to do plus 16. Okay, okay. Now I'm going to get ready to take another picture. Now yesterday when I did this, I actually used the app on my phone so that there would definitely be no camera shake, since I have it set at the settings that I do. So I really do recommend that when you're doing it for the first time, since I'm just kind of showing you all over again. I'm not wasting my time on that, but I downloaded the Canon EOS app, which is the app recommended and the manual, and that's what I use to just remotely hit my shutter. So now let's take a look at it now that we did plus 16. See if you can see that. A little too bright. Let's rotate it where you can see it better. It's so dark. You'll have to excuse me. I'm using my MacBook, so I'm a little shaky trying to hold a MacBook and turn this thing. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to get you to see this without being so bright. Alright. Better? No? Okay, if I zoom in here, what you're seeing, let's just try it this way. Is the focus now is following at 10 to 15. The line is not in focus. Everything out in front is completely blurry, which means now we fixed it. It's no longer focusing in front, but now it's focusing a little further back than we want it to go because everything in the back is focusing and not really on the line. So we're going to go back to menu again. We're going to autofocus, adjust by lens, change. I'm going to go down just a little bit now and tell it to go to plus 14. All right, now let's take another picture. Okay. So what you're seeing here, zoom in, and now, surprise, surprise, the line is completely in focus. It's exciting because that means I will no longer have lenses focusing on hands of a baby next to its cheek instead of its eyes. I'm actually really excited about this. Now that's on the 50-1.4. I did calibrate my 85-1.5 as well. It does the exact same thing. When you put that lens on, it goes through the exact same process. It already knows which lens is on there. You're just going to select it and change it. If you have any questions, let me know. I can always redo the video to make it a little more simplified. This seems as simplified as I can possibly get right now, considering all the videos I watched and how difficult it was. Another way that I figured that you could probably test this out is to do it this way. Excuse the mess. All right. I figure this is another good way to attempt to do it. You can find a way to prop up a keyboard and get it exactly to where it's not going to move and it's going to be 100% properly set up and be straight. You could certainly recreate the exact same thing. Let's test this out. But you're going to have to select what key it is you want to focus on. And I did change my focus feature to single focus because I got tired of it focusing on wrong areas. So I'm going to tell it that I want it to focus on, let's go with maybe J. Let's see what it's doing here. Kind of hard. I've got the thing tilted down a little bit. Okay. Somewhere around between J and U is where it's set up for the height I've got it at right now. So, as you can see, it's focusing between J and U. If it were out of focus and I had not just calibrated it, it would have fallen on the space bar. So what I would have done is done the same process. I would have gone to menu. If it was focusing on the space bar, I would have gone to menu, autofocus, adjust by lens, change, and I just would have adjusted it up to about 10 and tested it at 10, and then I would take another picture. And 10, it probably would have only focused it on the letter N perhaps. Let's see. It probably would have focused it between N and J. So then I would have gone back in and adjusted it up to plus 14 again until between J and U was in focus. So you can certainly do it with something like a keyboard. You're going to have to prop it up to where obviously it does the same type thing, and pick a letter, focus on that letter. So if you want to focus on H, the very center, and you take a picture and it's focusing on the space bar, that's exactly equivalent to what mine did initially, focusing on the 25s to 30s. So you're just going to, if it's focused on the space bar and you want to focus on H, you're just going to turn around and you're going to go through the menu. You're going to adjust your autofocus up to plus 10, plus 14, plus 16, and sometimes one little number makes quite a bit of difference. So you're just going to go in and adjust it the same until you see the H in focus. So realistically, you don't need a special tool for this. A lot of people use a ruler and they have things next to it, and it all just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I found this a lot more logical way of trying to do it and simplify it. So hopefully that helps you guys. I know I talk a little fast, so if it's a little too fast for you, let me know. I can try to redo the video. Kind of bad at that. Sorry guys. Thank you.